This is Mac OS Ken.
Apple decks the virtual WWDC halls, surprising news around Apple's supply chain, and Apple Music is full of pride. It's Wednesday, the 2nd of June, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. With less than a week to go before developers virtually arrive, Apple is gearing up for next week's Worldwide Developers Conference. Mac Rumors says the company updated its developer app on Tuesday. According to the piece, the update adds details on all the pavilions, session videos, one-on-one labs, and coding and design challenges available as part of this year's show. Plus, it introduces sign-ups for this year's labs. Also, new stickers, which are better than last year's, but still not as cool as 2019's neon sign theme collection. I'm going to start a podcast about those. Updated for 2021 with tweaks and bug fixes as well. The developer app is free. It is available now in the App Store. If there's an Apple team with which you want to talk specifically, you'll want to queue up for one of the digital lounges. iMore says reservations have opened for those. The site describes the digital lounges as a way for developers to speak with Apple engineers and designers on a range of topics, including tools, accessibility, and more. Not unlike the previously announced pavilions, digital lounges are new for 2021. According to Apple's notes on the offering, a small number of digital lounges are offered for the first time this year, and attendance is limited. Number is the only limitation, provided you're a paid-up member of the developer program. More information and registration are available on the Apple Developer web portal. Arrange your snacks, get your coffee ready, whatever it is that gets you into and through the keynote. If you need to be reminded, well, I'll be reminding you. Also, YouTube is too. The Mac Observer says Apple has published the WWDC 2021 Keynote live stream to the video sharing service. There's just a placeholder image there now, but people planning to catch it on YouTube can set a reminder for it. The WWDC 2021 Keynote kicks off Monday, the 7th of June at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I will likely remind you a time or two between now and then, or YouTube will. Whichever. A bit of surprising, and one might even go so far as to say disappointing news around Apple's supply chain. Apple Insider highlights a report from the South China Morning Post that says Apple's manufacturing reliance on mainland China has increased over the last 3 years. Among the 52 new companies that Apple added to its supply chain since 2017, 15 are located in mainland China, according to the report. We keep hearing that Apple is diversifying its supply chain, and yet Apple Insider cites the Post piece saying the 200 companies on Apple's 2020 supplier list make up about 98% of the company's direct spend for materials, manufacturing, and assembly. About 80% of those suppliers have at least one facility in China. On one hand, it's interesting that Apple was able to do this despite trade tensions with China that dominated during the Trump administration. On the other hand, concerns around China's treatment of its Uyghur population, accusations of forced labor in the supply chain, and the heat Apple is taking on storing user data in China. As I say, the news is surprising, and one might even go so far as to say disappointing. It seems likely that at least some of Apple's supply chain is coming to the U.S. You've heard reports that Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC has as many as 6 chip fabs planned for Arizona. Now another piece from Apple Insider says ground has been broken on the first one. The piece says the announcement was made by TSMC CEO C.C. Wei during the company's annual symposium. The first Arizona plant is expected to start cranking out 5-nanometer wafers sometime in 2024. Apple's productivity suite got an update on Tuesday. Apple Insider says Pages, Numbers, and Keynote each got tweaks for iPhone, iPad, and the Mac. Perhaps the most radical change is something that should have happened years ago. According to Apple Insider, the updates now offer the ability to link document elements to web addresses. Like, you've always been able to hyperlink text. You have never been able to hyperlink a picture without sort of tricking the app into doing it. Now, you can hyperlink shapes, pictures, and other elements like it's 2006 or something. That's for Pages and Numbers, according to the report. Numbers also get support for collaborating on forms and shared spreadsheets. And finally, all 3 applications, Pages, Numbers, and Keynote, get tweaks for teachers. According to Apple Insider, teachers using the Schoolwork app to assign activities and numbers can now view student progress, including word count and time spent, says the App Store entry for Numbers. It is the same for Pages, while Keynote refers instead to the identical new function in Apple's Classwork app. All 3 of those apps are free. Each is available now in the App Store or the Mac App Store. More news in a moment, but first a word from Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Are you making your credit card payments? That's great. Would you like to get ahead of them instead? Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment. Upstart looks at more than your credit score, factoring in income and employment history. That lets them offer smarter rates with trusted partners. So you may be able to take those high-interest payments you're making a few places and turn them into one simple payment with lower interest. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans between $1,000 to $50,000, and you can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/macOSKen. UPSTART. That's upstart.com/macOSKen. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/macOSKen. If you've got a Coinbase card, you can now add it to Apple Pay. The Mac Observer says the cryptocurrency exchange made the announcement on Tuesday. For those who don't know, like me before I read that post, TMO says the Coinbase card is a debit card that lets you pay for things with cryptocurrency and earn up to 4% in crypto rewards. Basically, it'll act as a debit card with all the confusing uncertainty of dealing with cryptocurrency. Interested parties can find out more at blog.coinbase.com. The Apple TV app has found its way to another streaming device. Engadget says the app, which offers access to movies and TV shows through iTunes, Apple TV Plus, and a host of other subscription video services, has landed on Nvidia Shield devices. I have never heard of those, though they do sound pretty cool. With it, Engadget says, you can watch in 4K with Dolby Vision HDR, And Nvidia is touting both Google Assistant playback control as well as AI upscaling for those movies and shows that aren't native 4K. That is the part that sounds cool to me. That said, I literally have more Apple TVs than I have actual television, so I think I'm good for now. That said, if you've already got one or are in the market for a video streaming device, Nvidia Shield devices now support the Apple TV app. Apple Maps is capturing street-level photography in Poland and other EU countries. That's the headline from iDownload blog. According to the Apple Maps image collection website, ground-level look-around surveys in Poland will run until sometime in August. The piece says the same website indicates that Apple Maps has begun conducting surveys of a bunch of European countries and cities like Czech, Germany, Slovenia, and Croatia. That said, Poland is likely giving Apple the most difficulty. Seems every picture they take is behind a pole. And finally today, June is Pride Month, and Apple Music has plans for it. Mac Rumors says Cupertino's Music Machine is celebrating Pride this year with a new space that is designed to highlight the LGBTQ+ community, both in June and year-round. For Pride Month, Apple plans to release new content each Sunday that focuses on equality, resilience, and community. Content on the way includes short, original videos called Pride Talks, guest-curated playlists, exclusive DJ mixes, Apple Music radio shows and specials that'll air on Apple Music One, Apple Music Hits, and Apple Music Country, and 24-hour takeovers every Sunday this month on Apple Music TV, which I am always surprised to remember exists. Additionally, Mac Rumor says Apple now has a dedicated Apple Music Pride page where users can find all the videos, playlists, and interviews celebrating Pride. That page will be available year-round. Coming up in a few minutes, what Apple service would Jeff Gamet not want to be without? What service would he like to see Apple get into? And where does one service end and another begin? We kick that around on today's episode. The show is called In a Few Minutes. Find it and listen wherever you find and listen to podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSCan. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.